So I've just found out that the entire video I just recorded, it wasn't actually audio recorded. Fuck. Sat in the same place as I was before. I came back here to re-record the actual video itself. Very similar framing actually, just a bit more zoomed in so you can see my beautiful facade. I'm not sure facade was the right word, probably wasn't. Let's move on. Those of you who watch my channel regularly will know that every now and again I make a video letter to someone who I genuinely adore, who I think is fantastic. I say think, that sounds like a bit negative I suppose, doesn't it? People who I know I adore and know I respect and know I appreciate their work. This person I've been watching online for a while. He is one of the best creators I think in the UK, and I think he's slightly underrated as well, to be honest, and that is TomSka. Thomas Ridgewell. Can't believe I'm recording this yet again. I spoke really in depth as well. I was interrupted a few times by dog walkers. It's always dog walkers. There's never squirrels or badgers. It's always dog walkers. Dear TomSka, or Thomas Ridgewell, or Tommy Boy, or Daddy, I've been appreciating your work for ages, since ASDF 1, and I've been in awe of your work for such a long time. I think it's really commendable the way you handle things and go about this whole YouTube malarkey. I've been YouTubing now for around 4 years, and obviously, as you can tell, I'm still a bit rusty. I try to make decent videos, but sometimes what I want to say or what I've got to say isn't heard. I don't know. I'm getting awkward because there's someone over there, but yeah. Right, where was I? First of all, I would like to say I absolutely adore your editing style. Yes, I know you have people to edit your videos for you, but even so, I highly respect and appreciate the way you make your videos. Obviously, you have a certain niche and a certain editing style which really fits in with the things you talk about as well. For example, last week I think last week is one of my favourite projects of yours. I just think it's fantastic. I think the way you talk about things so openly, and things I'll get into later on, but I think it's just fantastic the way you talk about things that other people, I suppose, would struggle to talk about. And yes, you've had a few years of, practice. Sometimes I get a bit worried about talking about certain things. One thing I really want to talk about, like one massive bullet point, is talking about bereavement. A few years ago, you lost your friend Ed. I lost my best friend a few years ago as well, 4 years ago as well. It was my mum. My mum passed away, and I was a bit unsure of how to deal with it, in all honesty, but I found the best way was doing this, talking to a camera. Not necessarily in a really public park, but I actually spoke about it in a classroom at school, in the media classroom. I spoke about what I'm going through and helping people who are in the same situation. The issue was, or the only thing was, because I was talking about it at the same time that I was going through it, it was very, very raw, and there was times in the video that I didn't actually record, that I kind of edited out, or I was just like on the verge of tears. The worrying thing is I haven't had a breakdown yet over my mum. I'm not sure if you have, or if you've documented it. That'd be a very, very strange thing to document, but in a recent last week you went to Ed's grave. My mum hasn't got a grave, but sorry. Well, recording in public is one of my least favourite things, but for videos like this I don't want to just be cooped up in my room. I'd rather go out, explore and go for a walk, and just kind of collect some thoughts and then record them. I still can't get over the fact that I recorded the whole video and didn't. Oh, Jesus, such a twat. The way you talk about Ed, I incredibly resonate with. Despite the fact that I never knew Ed, I just get it. That's all I'll say. I get it. I get what you mean. I get everything. Like depression, everyone deals with bereavement differently, don't they? Everyone deals with everything differently. I can sit here and tell my audience to deal with anxiety by doing this, or by doing this, or by dealing with depression by doing this, or whatever. I can give them ideas, but I can't physically make them do it. I made a video series, I think I've done one of, maybe two of, alternatives, self-harm alternatives. One of them was writing down all your thoughts on a bit of paper and burning it. That is a good idea, but it's dangerous. I did say in the video, don't set fire to your cat or your house or your grandma. When people record the nitty-gritty of mental health, it makes it more understandable. And I'm not sure if it's a good thing for mental health to be understandable, because it shouldn't be. Mental health shouldn't be a thing, but it is. And I think we need more people like you, more people like Kristen, like Becky Brown, all these different creators who talk about mental health in such a beautiful and positive way. Moving on, I really like your sense of humour. I also like the fact that in your videos you are not necessarily harsh, but it's a cutthroat reality, your comedy. And I think I prefer your style and your way of doing things than other creators, such as Onision, for example. I haven't made a funny video in a while, and it's because I'm not really in the best mental frame for it. I've been writing poetry a lot recently. I write poetry when I'm depressed, and I've been going through that shit for a while. Especially recently, I've got a big move coming up, which I've already spoken about. But yeah, I'm going to Scotland for 3 months. Anyway, that's not why you're here. This video has been very, very self-absorbing, and I'm sorry. But I just think you ought to know how respected you are, and how much you mean to a small creator such as myself. I'm not sure if you're thanked enough either. So, from one small YouTuber to one big YouTuber who is a genuinely nice guy, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart, and thank you for giving people like me the encouragement and the confidence to do this, to talk to a bit of plastic with a furry thing attached to it. Usually it's plugged in. Usually. Just realised I didn't sign out properly, so yours sincerely, Sam Chaplin. Thank you for making fantastic content, and hopefully I'll meet you at a meet and greet or whatever in the future. Keep making fantastic content and keep being positive. This life is difficult sometimes, and I think the way that you deal with things, once again, like I've already said, is admirable. I hope you don't mind me saying this, but I genuinely believe that Ed will be proud of you. The legacy that you have carried on with is beautiful. Keep being you, and thank you. Goodbye.